Hello guys and gals, and this is going to be a long video, I'm not going to lie. We're going to go over basically everything significant that happens, that I can remember anyways, that happens in all of the first first 5 books of the Wings of Fire franchise. So anyways, we're going to start off with something interesting. It's one of the Sandwing Queens. I don't exactly remember which one. It's the one that's allied to the Sky Wings, I believe. Let's see. Burn. I believe it's Burn. An Ice Wing from the Talons of Peace basically snuck in and stole a Sky Wing egg. His name is like Igvar, something like that. Anyways, he was caught and basically killed. And the egg was shattered. So that meant that the Dragonets of Destiny needed a 5th egg because the Skywing egg was broken. And so yeah. And then, several of the Talons of Peace basically died trying to get the eggs for the to get the Dragonets of Destiny to hatch. That just left, let's see, Dune, Kestrel, Webs. Was there another one? Dune, Kestrel. I think there were only 3. Anyways, yeah. So, yeah, the Dragonets of Destiny, from Clay's perspective anyways, because that's the first book. Let's take it completely from Clay's perspective. Yeah. They grew up under a mountain in the Skywing Kingdom, run by Queen Scarlet. Anyways, they don't like it under there because they feel they're mistreated. And that's because the Guardians, Kestrel especially, pushes them pretty hard to, learn fighting and stuff like that. Anyways, Morosir, he stops by. He's the one that gave the prophecy to everybody. He's the mysterious Nightwing overseer, basically. And he goes to check on the Dragonets of Destiny. And he isn't really too pleased with what he sees, especially since they have a Rain Wing instead of a Sky Wing. And so he really doesn't like Rain Wings. And we find out why later. But anyways, so he orders the Guardians to basically kill the Rain Wing. And so yeah, that doesn't set well with the other Dragonets who actually overhear this. And so Clay escapes. He's being a Mudwing. He can hold his breath underwater for like an hour, I think it is. Something like that. So anyways, not nearly as long as a Sea Wing who can sleep underwater. But so he goes and tries to escape the cave. And he swims. There's still something weird that happens. I never really figured out. Come to think of it. Because he finds himself in a cave that has some kind of parasites in it. I don't remember exactly. I remember it was kind of strange because or some kind of acidic stuff in it. I don't know. That part of the book was kind of strange. But anyways, Tsunami ends up saving his life because she does manage to get free. They had chained her up. The Guardians had chained her up because she's Tsunami, so she of course is kind of aggressive and protective. So anyways, they're able to escape, and meanwhile, Sunny, Glory, and Starflight start a fire in the library. So there's smoke wafting up, so that Clay and Tsunami can find their way back. This is the first time that Clay has ever been in mud or actually felt mud under his feet. And so, yeah. Should be noted that during battle training that Kestrel had breathed fire on Clay before, but he didn't realize that he was like immune to it. I don't know. Apparently he was hatched from a red egg. Now I do have theories about this red egg and why the egg was red, but I can't really confirm those. But I might, when we get to that part of the story, I might actually go into greater detail about my theory, which probably is wrong. But anyways, while they're out, Tsunami and Clay run into none other than Queen Scarlet, who was able to track them down. But yeah, let's see. Yeah, Dune, the Sandwing that was sent to guard over the Dragons of Destiny, does defend them. However, Queen Scarlet brings like an army of Skywings with her, and the Dragonettes of Destiny are imprisoned in the Sky Kingdom. Dune is killed, and so yeah. But yeah, Kestrel isn't there. And oh wait, I think Kestrel gets captured as well. Yeah, Kestrel was there, and well, arrived at while Scarlet was yeah. So yeah. Anyways, so they're all suspended in the sky cages and around the arena. Scarlet likes to watch dragons fight in the arena. So yeah, it's then that Clay meets Peril. Now Peril has this condition. Peril was a twin. It's very, very rare for two dragons to be in the same egg. And one dragon, Peril, was born with fire scales, aka if any dragon touches her, then they get burnt. She can't control her fire. The other dragon in the egg was kind of sickly and weak and couldn't breathe fire, having too little fire, and is presumed dead. Anyways, turns out that Kestrel tried to save Peril, but burnt her hands. So she had scars on her hands from trying to rescue Peril. But anyways, Queen Scarlet is really eager to see the Dragonettes of Destiny fight. But usually they're able to get out of it some way. They keep Sunny in a cage above this table because she's kind of small, and they want to give her to which one is the Skywing? Let's see, Skywings. Burn, because Burn likes kind of strange things like that, I guess. Anyways, Peril develops feelings. Sorry. Peril develops feelings for Clay. Clay is kind of oblivious, though, to it. And eventually Peril does help the Dragonettes of Destiny escape, but then kind of traps them because she doesn't want to see Clay go. During a fight where Tsunami and Starflight are in the arena, they refuse to fight, so they send in some scavengers. A bunch of Nightwings descend from the sky and take Starflight, rescue Starflight, but leave the other Dragonettes of Destiny behind. Anyways, it all culminates with Glory spitting acid on Scarlet, and that throws the entire Sky Kingdom into a little bit of a frenzy. And then afterwards, Scarlet disappears, and nobody knows where she went. Though it's theorized that Burn spirited her away somewhere, but it's not certain. So, anyways, during the commotion, they are able to rescue everyone with the help of Peril. And Clay goes to the Mudwings to basically find his family, because the Sky Kingdom is close to the Mudwing Kingdom. And so, yeah, Glory disguises herself as a Mudwing, and the two of them go and try to find his parents. Well, Mudwings, they do things a little bit differently, and I'll go into a little bit greater detail here. I didn't in the video where I actually mentioned it. I think it was in the second book. What was the third book? I don't know. I think it might have been the third book where I actually mentioned about the strange ways that Mudwings do things. But anyways, so they do manage to track down Clay's mom. I think her name was Cattail, I think. You know, like the plant. Anyways, and she's kind of annoyed at being disturbed and stuff like that. And he doesn't realize exactly how it works, that Mudwings, they don't pair off, or anything like that. Okay. I'm going to put this delicately as I can, because I could use a term for this that wouldn't be YouTube friendly. But they don't have a nuclear family, let's just say that. They once a month they have a breeding night, and then afterwards they just all lay their eggs in a little nest type thing, like a hatchery, I would say. And then those dragonettes, they all fend for themselves. This is where my theory about the red egg comes in. And it's probably a silly idea. But the thing with Mudwings that hatch from red eggs is they're completely resistant to fire, which is kind of strange if you think about it. My theory is that, and I haven't got any confirmation on this. My theory is that maybe a Skywing snuck in there, and maybe Clay's father is actually a Skywing. And so because Clay is part Skywing, he's immune to fire. But, I mean, they are on the same team, The Skywings and the Mudwings, they're on the same team. So, maybe you got a male Skywing there, he knows this is going on, he slips in, stuff like that. But I don't know. Probably not. This is probably just like a rare thing that happens with Mudwings. I don't know. Anyways, so Clay is kind of disappointed that he'll never know who his father is, and his mother isn't really interested in him either. So he's really disappointed about that. But yeah, if I remember right, the book ends with Morosir, I think, and this is kind of tragic, really. Of all the guardians that they chose to, of all the guardians of the Dragonets of Destiny that they chose to live, they chose Webs, which is, I guess, okay. I feel, though, especially with what you learned in book 14, they should have kept Kestrel alive, but they didn't. I can kind of see why they didn't, but I don't know. It just feels bad. But yeah, in the the epilogue of, I think the first book is when Kestrel died. And in book 2, they do figure out who actually killed Kestrel. Starflight was able to deduce that. But anyways, and that would be, you see here, Seawing. Where does it say Seawing? Blister. It was Blister that ended up killing Kestrel, I think. But anyways, this goes to book 2. So we're going to start book 2. And we are to book 2 now. The Dragonets of Destiny actually survived. And they are on their way to the Sea Kingdom from the Mud Kingdom. And Clay is still kind of bummed that his parents didn't really care about him that much. But that's just basically Mudwing culture for you. Tsunami's a little bit afraid that the same thing might happen to her. So anyways, she dives into the water, and she's in Sea Wing territory now. And she meets a Sea Wing, and he keeps flashing her with his phosphorescent scales, trying to talk to her. But she's never been taught aquatic, so she can't really talk back. So, yeah, that's kind of awkward. She also witnesses an interaction between, I believe it was Nautilus and this other dragon, and from the Talons of Peace and stuff like that. But anyways, so the point is that she can't communicate with Sea Wings underwater because she doesn't know the language. So anyways, she's able to convince Riptide to help her and the Dragonets of Destiny get to the Summer Palace. Took some convincing, though, because they had a Mudwing with them, and Mudwings and Sea Wings don't get along because of the whole war faction thing. But they do eventually blindfold Clay, and then they find their way to the Summer Palace. But yeah, Coral is delighted. Queen Coral is glad to see her daughter, and she has one other daughter, Anemone, who is basically tethered to her at all times, because she's afraid that, well, there's a problem with let's just say there's a problem with the royal hatchery. Female dragonets end up dead when they're in the royal hatchery. Male dragonets are not, though. They're allowed to continue, and stuff like that. So anyways, so that's a big mystery. Coral, Queen Coral, is an avid writer. In fact, scrolls she writes go all over the kingdom. Stories of heroics and stuff like that. It's also noticed later in the book that Anemone is an animus dragon. Now, animus dragons are dragons that can enchant things. They have magic, basically. And they are very, very, very rare. Animus dragons usually occur, well, there haven't been very many animus dragons around, like, ever, because they're so rare. The problem with animus dragons is if they use their powers too much, then they kind of go insane. There's the story of Albatross, who was a Sea Wing, who was an animus dragon, and basically built the Summer Palace from basically coral. He uses animus powers to make it grow. Then he proceeded, after that happened, and after he had used a lot of his powers, he proceeded to kind of massacre a large number of the royal family. So animus dragons are kind of feared, because you can lose your soul that way. So that's the thing. Anyways, Tsunami is happy that she gets her own room now and stuff like that. And she does have certain freedoms, but her friends don't. Basically, they are basically under guard all the time, and she finds out that sometimes they aren't even fed properly. So, yeah. Thing is that her mother doesn't listen to her very well, I would say. There is a part in this book where Tsunami is actually attacked and nearly assassinated, and her mother doesn't really do much about it, and they don't know who tried to do that. Anyways, in regards to the royal hatchery, Tsunami agrees to stay in the royal hatchery with the eggs, because there's an egg there that is about to hatch. There's only one left, actually. It's also found out and discovered in a cruel twist of fate that Gil, let's just say that Tsunami accidentally, well, not really accidentally, Queen Scarlet pitted Gil, aka Tsunami's father, against her. And yeah, Tsunami kind of killed her own father, which is kind of tragic. Which means there's only one egg left that has a female dragon in it. Apparently, you can tell some way because they have all the male eggs over here and they have all the female eggs over here in the royal hatchery. And so, yeah. So, anyways, if we focus on this particular part of the story with the royal hatchery, there was an animus dragon sea wing named Orca who challenged her mother, aka Coral, for the throne and lost. So what Orca had done was animus touch the statue so that anytime it detected a female dragonette hatching, then it would kill it. Tsunami managed to break the statue, or at least stop it. And so no more threats like that in the royal hatchery. But now there are like 27 male dragonettes that are all related to Queen Coral, and now there's only like 3 heirs to the throne. There's Anemone, there's Tsunami, and there's Auklet. So anyways, that resolved that. Because Orca said something cryptic at the end, like, yeah, that Coral's reign would be very long and there wouldn't be any more heirs or something like that. Anyways, but with that all that aside, eventually, Burn, or was it Burn? Or was it Blister? I can't remember which sandwing it is that's attributed to the sea wings. The sea wings. Blister. Anyways, Blister does convince Coral to not let the Dragonettes of Destiny go. So they are basically, even Tsunami is incarcerated in the royal dungeon, where there's electric eels, patrolling the waterways, and so the water's actually electrified. And that isn't ideal. However, Anemone comes to visit and is able to animus touch something and figure out who tried to kill Tsunami. And it turned out to be it was a minor character. But anyways, about that time, the Summer Palace falls under attack by the Sea Wings and... No, not the Sea Wings. It's the Sea Wings that live there. The Sky Wings and the Mud Wings attack the Sky Palace and destroy it. The Sea Wings Summer Palace. So basically, yeah. The Dragonettes of Destiny escape. Webbs does infiltrate the Summer Palace to try and seek forgiveness from Queen Coral, but he just basically gets thrown into the dungeon because she's mad at him. And along with Riptide because reasons. But anyways, the Summer Palace falls, and so Blister basically loses the support of the Sea Wings then because, well, yeah. Anyways, in the confrontation, Webbs gets stung by Blister with, sandwing poison. So he's in bad shape. And so they take him along, and so yeah, that leads to book 3. So let's go ahead and get to book 3. In book 3, Webbs, along with the Dragonettes of Destiny, entered the rainforest. And the rainforest is full of unique creatures and weird sounds, and they actually spy or see two mudwings that stumbled into the rainforest, just basically on patrol. And then later they hear them scream, and then they find them dead with their throats slit, which is well, hello, yeah. And that's kind of mysterious, really, because yeah, especially when they found out that the rainwings don't do that. They don't kill other dragons. They're pacifist dragons. So something strange is happening in the rainforest. So yeah, um, I think three of the Dragonets of Destiny are hit by darts and taken up to the Rainwing village, and leaving Glory and I want to say Starflight to follow on wing. Anyways, Glory meets her brother. Yeah, and he helps show her around and stuff like that. Um, and she's amazed at how brilliant the Rainwings look. Basically, Rainwing scales reflect their emotions, and they're brilliant compared to Glory because she's been underground and not near any sun for most of her life. Well, for the first few years of her life, she wasn't, anyways. Um, so yeah, she didn't really hit the sunlight until they left until they left the cave or the underground, under the mountain. During the occupation, or the time when they were taken prisoner by Queen Scarlet, Glory was basically kept as an art piece, um, where she could just bask in the sun all the time and sleep. Anyways, so there's also something strange going on because rainwings are vanishing, just without cause or reason. The rainwings are just gone, vanished without a trace, which is kind of strange. And the acting queens rather, they don't seem to really do much about it. But yeah, there's Mandrake. Mandrake is always complaining because his mate Orchid is missing, and nobody seems to do anything about it. So Glory decides to try and figure out what's going on and what's happening to the Rainwings and what happened to Orchid. So, anyways, we're gonna follow this thread for now. So, anyways, she basically allows herself to be captured, and she is knocked out and taken to the Nightwings Island. There, she meets Kinkajou, who basically plays a rather large role in the second arc. And Kinkajou is a dragonet, a tiny dragonet that they captured. And it turns out that the Nightwings have been experimenting on the Rainwings because they want to find out more about their venom. And so yeah, with the help of Death Speaker, was that his name? Let me just check real quick. I think this was it. Was it? What was his name? It wasn't Death Dealer. Maybe it was Death Dealer. What was his name? Times like this, I wish I had the book so I could look. Oh, well, let me look up Glory. L-O-R-Y, Glory. Here, Glory. Affiliations. Not relatives. Jambu. Okay. Here. Deathbringer. That was his name. Not Death Speaker. Deathbringer. I knew it was a really, really cool name. Earlier in this book, before Glory got, dragon napped, they found a portal. A magic portal into the Sand Kingdom. And while there, they were looking for Mandrake because Mandrake went through the the portal to find Orchid. So basically, they took some Rain Wings with them also, and Rain Wings are able to change their appearance, camouflage, stuff like that. So Glory and Jambu um, infiltrated. Who's the one that has the night? I think it's Blaze. Blaze's fortress, and they were able to convince Blaze to come out and meet the Dragonets of Destiny. I think. Let me just wait. Back. Let me find that page again. Sorry. Go back. Oh, I went too far. Okay. So, anyways, they infiltrated the. Okay, wait, come on. Fandom. Here we go. And here. The one that was with the Ice Wings. Who is that? Blaze. Yeah, it was Blaze. Yeah. They met with Blaze. But Glory noticed that there was this strange Nightwing that was, loitering around. And so, anyways, Death Dealer was an assassin sent by the Nightwings to, do his work against Blaze. And so he took the opportunity while the Dragonets of Destiny were talking to Blaze to attack. But the Dragonets of Destiny protected Blaze and were able to subdue and get Death Dealer to run away. However, Glory kind of developed feelings for Death Dealer. And was that his name? Wait, that sounds kind of strange. Popular pages. Glory. Let's look. Relatives. Deathbringer. Okay, it's Deathbringer. I can't keep all the names straight in my head. But anyway, so Deathbringer kind of develops feelings for Glory, and the feelings become mutual. So anyways, while so that's the thread from up here, and then if we take it and we pull it down here, then Deathbringer does help Glory escape, along with Kikaju. And so they find out that the Nightwings are all going to attack. Maybe that's a later book. Well, the Nightwings are planning to take over the rainforest eventually. And the Nightwings have been taking Rain Wings and experimenting on them in inhumane ways. So, yeah. There's that. So Glory tries to, get the Rain Wings motivated, but she can't quite do that. So she decides to become queen, or try to become queen. But she can't quite do that without competing with all the other queens that are there that were like part-time queens. So, yeah. Instead of choosing the Dragonets of Destiny, because she figured that the challenges would have something to do with the rainforest, she chose Jambu, Kinkajou, the blind one. Let me see. I'll find it. Yeah, here it is. I can't remember what her name is. Let me see. Affiliations. Nope. Status. Okay. Okay. Same size anemone. Here. Expand. Anyways, she even picked a one of the blind Rain Wing, and so yeah, there were like 4 challenges or 5 challenges. There were several challenges, I'll say, and it was getting to be pretty equal because yeah, plus some of the queens would cheat. even though there was like nothing against the rules and cheating, but it was starting to look bad. But Grandeur, what's it, Grandeur? Uh, yeah, yeah, Grandeur. Okay, yeah. So, anyways, it was Kinkaju's job to basically, it was a precision thing where she had to spit her venom at a target with precision, but it was looking kind of bad. But she ended up, a sloth fell, like she ended up getting hit by venom that the original Rainwing Queen spat at the target to get a sloth out of the way. So nobody knew if any of that lineage still existed. It turned out that Glory was part of the royal line to begin with. Um, as such, Glory became queen of the Rainwings, and then henceforth, Tsunami and the Dragonets of Destiny started training the Rainwings to fight. So during this, somebody came through the Animus touched the magic Nightwing portal and kidnapped Starflight, or Dragon napped Starflight, and that's where the next book begins. This book starts out where the other one left off, basically, with Starflight ending up in the Nightwing, the hidden island of the Nightwings, disoriented and confused. There had been talk or vignettes about the false Dragonets of Destiny, the fallback plan of Morosir. Basically, they wanted to pick and choose which Dragonets they wanted to use in order to, so they'd have like a Skywing from this group, and then maybe keep the Sandwing from this group, and so they could pick and choose. Anyways, one of them was Fate Speaker, who thought that she had like special powers, and when she first saw uh, Starflight, she fell madly in love with him, even though they'd probably eventually have to kill each other or something, because they were both supposed to be Dragonets of Destiny, except she was one of the false Dragonet of Destiny or something. The false Dragonets of Destiny were actually children of the Talons of Peace, So, yeah. Anyways, while all that's going on, yeah, Morosir tried to train the Dragonets, but they just really weren't having any of it. It gets to the point to where was it Flame? What the Skywing, the false Dragon of Destiny, the Skywing, got a scar on his face because the false Dragonet, Sandwing, Dragon of Destiny, basically when they were fighting, his tail like jabbed the Skywing's face, and it left a scar and stuff. Anyways, yeah. Anyways, so yeah. So, anyways, something basically strange is happening here, though, and the volcano is getting angrier and angrier because there's even more smoke pouring up, and stuff like that. So, the end is really near. But during this duration, Starfly is able to meet his father, who's named Mastermind. Mastermind is basically in charge of inventions, and you can basically tell that they're father and son. It's also Mastermind, though, that is basically been doing all these inhumane experiments on the rain wings. Um, but yeah, he's interested in testing the venom and finding ways to counteract it and all that. Um, so yeah, eventually Moros. Excuse me a second. Sorry about that. I've done 5 of these back to back, so my voice is very not really holding out. Um, anyways, where was I? Oh yeah, Morosir flies the false Dragonets of Destiny and Starflight to a Skywing outpost and tries to convince them to to give up their ways and to support Blister, I think it is. Basically, the whole idea of the prophecy was so that the Nightwings could enter the war and back their own contender, who was like Blister, I think it was. So I think, or maybe it was Burn. I can't remember which one they wanted to back, but it was they wanted to, you know, make it seem like Destiny had chosen this particular Skywing. I mean, this particular Sandwing to be queen, and so they were supposed to all try and convince the Skywings in this far outpost to join them. When they failed miserably, then a bunch of Nightwings came down and basically killed everyone inside the outpost. And so yeah, by then everyone was kind of wanting to go home, and it was the Sea Wing. I forget what his name was. Ochre, maybe was that the Sea Wing? I don't know. Anyways, Ochre basically left and was found by the Talons of Peace, so he was able to get home. At least that was before Flame got his scar over his face, burned by sandwing tail. But anyways, it all boils down to Fate Speaker and Starflight finding a Dream Visitor. Now, a Dream Visitor is an animus touched object that allows you to jump into any dragon's dreams as long as you've seen them before, and they can be any distance away. So Starflight was able to touch base with Glory and explain a situation, and eventually he was even able to sneak out back into the rainforest with Fate Speaker. And he's like, "Well, you gotta get all the Rain Wings ready soon because they're gonna attack very, very soon." So, yeah, let me think. Okay, got it. So, anyways, they come up with a plan. The Rain Wings come up with a plan, and they're gonna just blow dart all of the Night Wings that they come across, and then stealthily infiltrate the base and free all of the Rain Wings. They're also against time though because the volcano is getting more and more, terrible. The rumbling is more constant and magma spilling out everywhere. Kind of really really dangerous stuff. So time is of the essence. They even go down to the dungeon and rescue Deathbringer. And then Deathbringer helps rescue everybody else. So, anyways, let's see, it was Glory, Fate Speaker, and Starflight that confront Queen Battlewinter. Now, the thing about Queen Battlewinter is that during a fight, an Icewing breathed ice into her mouth, and she should have died. And the only way that she's still alive is because she lives in magma, basically, which you wouldn't think would be possible. But she lives in a cauldron of magma. And Mastermind's job was to basically make this kind of battle armor for her that could keep the magma around her. Basically, the acting princess, Nightwing Princess, um, agrees with Glory and is like, well, yeah, we should probably leave, and I don't mind if Glory is my queen because I don't want to be queen. And so Battle Winter tries to stop them, but the Ice Wing breath, she basically freezes right there. Anyway, so all of the Nightwings go to the rainforest. Now, the final dragon that wants to enter the portal is Morosir. And Morosir drops this huge bomb. The dark secret here. The dark secret is that the prophecy is a hoax, that he and Queen Battle Winter wrote it themselves, that there is no prophecy. Which Sunny is always, really cheerful and, thinking that she's making a difference and stuff. And so she hears that and she runs away back through the portal, which is fine, I guess. But then something happens. Something really, really bad happens. Okay, give me just a sec. They all know that Morosir is going to just go make more trouble, so they're not going to let him through the portal, no matter what. The volcano is erupting. There's lava everywhere, and eventually Morosir does succumb to, he gets covered in lava and dies. But this is probably the worst thing that could possibly have ever happened to Starflight. And I know why they did this. I know they had to do this, but you just have to feel bad for Starflight. Because, Starflight loves reading the scrolls, stuff like that. So anyways, Starflight is one of the last dragons through the portal. And so anyways, he sustains really bad burns all over his face, and he goes blind. And he never regains his sight, which is just kind of sad, really. It works out, and I get why they did it because of the next book, but it just, I don't think anybody really likes what happened to Starflight. But yeah, to the point where he spent most of the next book tranquilized because of his burns. But he kind of had to be, and let's explain this in detail. You see, Starflight loves Sunny, as in, he loves Sunny. And Sunny does love Starflight, but not in that way. You see, Starflight loves Sunny in a way that, husband and wife love each other. But Sunny loves Starflight in a way that brother and sister love each other. So Sunny will never really think of Starflight in that way. But Fate Speaker does think of Starflight in that way, in the husband-wife kind of way. So it kind of works out, and Fate Speaker is kind of like Sunny, has kind of Sunny's attitude, so they're kind of like the same, I would say. I don't know. Anyways. But okay. So here's why, this is why Starflight had to be blind or sedated or whatever. Because in the next book, Sunny goes on her own adventure, and if Starflight hadn't been, sedated or blind or anything like that, then he probably would have tried to tag along, and then the book wouldn't have worked. But it's just still kind of sad. Anyways, the volcano erupts, and Morosir is basically obliterated. Anyways, at the end of this book, or the beginning of the last book, at the beginning of the next book, 3 Nightwings kidnap Sunny, and that is where we are going to go into the next one. At the beginning of this book, Sunny gets, dragon napped by dragons, because they don't want a Rainwing as their queen, and they think that they can leverage Starflight and Glory's affection towards Sunny, to get to get Glory to step down, because currently Glory is queen of the Rain Wings and the Night Wings both. So there's that. And they don't even realize that Sunny is gone, or they feel that maybe Sunny is in some kind of funk and maybe is having a bad day and probably just went somewhere to sulk. So they don't really notice that Sunny's missing. Now, Sunny does eventually escape. They have an item with them called the Onyx Mirror, I believe it, or something like that. It was this mirror that if you set a name and they breathe fire into it, then you could listen in on any conversation you wanted to. So anyways, Sunny not only escapes but also steals the mirror, and then she writes this threatening message on the ground or something, threatening them to not pursue the path they're taking, because they want to trade Sunny to one of the Sandwing Queens, because she's the Dragonette of Destiny. So, anyways, they start talking about Deathstalker. Now, is it Deathstalker? Oh, wait. Darkstalker. Excuse me, yeah. So this is the first book where they talk about Darkstalker, and Darkstalker basically plays a huge role in the next arc. But this is the first time that he's really mentioned, and he's kind of like a boogeyman. He's kind of a scary story that you tell children in order to behave. He's a larger-than-life figure. He's like an immortal dragon that is like invulnerable to everything, and he's just basically got to the point to where the Nightwings relocated to get away from him, even though they like buried him underneath like a mountain, and still they were trying to get away from him. So, yeah. Not the friendliest guy around. Anyways, this is the first mention of Darkstalker. And they figure that the message that Sunny left was from Darkstalker. Anyway, so there's the three Nightwings. They still make their way to the Kingdom of the Sand, and Sunny does follow them. She buries the hidden mirror, the Onyx Mirror in the sand in the desert, with intention of coming back for it later. They go to the Scorpion's Den, and that's when they meet Thorn. They meet with Thorn. And that's also when we first meet Quibbly, because Quibbly is an outlaw and he is loyal to Thorn. Now, something special about Thorn is that Thorn only has one child, and that's Sunny. So, Thorn realizes that Sunny is her child because Dune stole her egg, or stole Sunny's egg. Thorn's, stole Thorn. Dune stole Sunny. Well, the egg that Sunny was in for the Dragonettes of Destiny, and basically. She also finds out that both Dune and Morosir are dead, and she had like a grudge against him because, well, he stole the egg, and everybody basically hates Morosir. So, yeah. So it's a happy reunion, really, and Sunny finds out that her father is a Nightwing, actually, an animus dragon named Stone Mover. So, yeah. Anyways, I don't remember the exact sequence that things happened, but along the line, she does. Well, they try to coerce Sunny into going to see Blaze. I think it's Burn. I think it's Burn. Well, it was one of the It was one of the Sandwing Queens. Well, wait. I can probably figure this out. Which is the one that had the sea wings? I always have to remember which one had sea wings. Sea wings right here. Blister. Yeah. I think it was Blister, the one that has the Weirdling Tower. Um, Anyways, there she meets Smolder. Smolder is a prince, actually. But yeah, so they get along really well. Anyways, while Sunny is there, she meets Flower, who is this scavenger, aka human, that is Smolder's pet. Um, and she realizes that humans are very smart, intelligent creatures. Um, Anyways, eventually, she finds out that Scarlet is there too in the Weirdling Tower, a prisoner of Blister, I believe. Or actually, it's Burn. Actually, I think it's Burn that has the. Yeah, sorry, I'm pretty sure it's Burn that has the Weirdling Tower. Burn is the Skywitch. Yeah, yeah. So, eventually, Peril comes to rescue Scarlet, Queen Scarlet, former Queen Scarlet rather, who now has a scar on her face because Glory, spit acid on her face. And also Thorn came to rescue Sunny. So Smolder locks them in the library, but they're able to escape. And so Sunny heads to see Stone Mover, aka her father, who is basically turning to stone. He's an animus dragon, and so yeah, the more he uses his magic, then the more he turns to stone. It was, I guess, a precaution to save his soul. So, anyways, Sunny gets an idea, and with the help of scavengers, aka humans, she's able to find very special treasure. She finds the ruins of that basically date back to the time of when Queen Oasis, that started this whole thing about 20 years ago, treasure from back then. And that comes into play later. The treasure that the humans stole and started this whole thing. So, anyways, they get a plan, and Sunny goes back to the rainforest, and all the Dragonettes of Destiny put their heads together, and they're going to settle this on the brightest night. They're going to gather at the palace and invite everybody. And then they're just going to settle the war right there. They're not sure how, but they're just going to settle the war. So they invite everybody, using the Dream Visitor, and so that's what happens. The time comes, and they all join there. Starflight still can't see; he's blind, but he is learning how to fly better. His other senses have increased. And so yeah. And so they settle things. And all the queens are there. Queen Coral is there, I believe. Queen Glacier. Queen Ruby. Ruby took over for Scarlet. Queen Morhen is there. Queen Glory is there, of course. That's two, and yeah. So, anyways, what they realize is that the scavengers know more than they're letting on, and they find out where a certain item was hidden. Basically, when the scavengers killed Oasis, who was the original Sandwing Queen, they always wondered. The dragons always wondered where the treasure went. So yeah, because there was like so much treasure missing, but they just couldn't find it. So they dug underneath the obelisk because the body of Queen Oasis is underneath this big obelisk thing. So they all start digging it out, all the Dragonets of Destiny, including some of the scavengers that are there. And so they open the mouth of Queen Oasis, and they find the Eye of Onyx, which is uh, was what they used before to determine the Eye of Onyx, which is what they used before to determine the Sandwing Queen. It's an animus touched object, a magical object that could basically discover who the true queen should be. So there's that. But first, there was a run-in with a dragonbite viper. Now, a dragonbite viper has the capacity to kill a dragon. It's a very, very toxic serpent. And wait a minute. Okay, it says down here. Dragon prophecy, tempest. Okay. Oh. Okay, there's a lot here. Okay. Blister gifts Burn a Dragonite Viper, which Burn pins in her talons. A second Dragonite Viper leaps out of the box and kills Burn. Blister attacks Blaze after Burn's death. Okay. So, also, the Dragonbite Viper, the second one, because there were two in the box, bites Clay on the thigh, but he doesn't quite die because Peril is able to go in there and, purge all that poison because she's got the fire scales going on. And even though Clay is like immune to fire, he isn't immune to fire if it gets past his scales. So he ends up with a limp because, but he's alive thanks to Peril, because Peril saved his life. But yeah, anyways, the Eye of Onyx ends up choosing Thorn, and so yeah, that just ends the war of Sandwing Succession. And so everyone basically is like, oh yeah, all hail Queen Thorn. So anyways, it's also hinted at the end of this book that the Dragonets of Destiny are starting a school in the Jade Mountains. They're going to call it Jade Mountain Academy. And then that is the next arc, the Jade Mountain Academy arc. A school, which is really good because it's peacetime now, even though the dragons are still, all the dragon tribes are still wary of one another. And so, yeah, that is what happened. Also, apparently, during the brightest night, there was a meteor that was really close to the Earth. And that kind of comes into play in the second arc with the meteor and fragments of the meteorite that have fallen down or something. But anyways, for the most part, yeah, everyone survived. And let's see, Starflight was struck blind from his burns in the volcano from looking at a volcanic eruption. Clay ended up with a wound in his thigh, so he limps because of the Dragonbite Viper. But yeah, that would conclude this arc. Yeah. Basically, it turned out to be, the prophecy ended up coming true in a lot of ways, even though it was kind of a made-up prophecy to begin with, I suppose, but they made their own prophecy and it worked, which was really cool. But yeah, this did go on quite a bit. So yeah, that is going to do it for this video. This will be continued in book 6, which is Moon. Wait a minute, what was it called? Let me find it. Let me see. Wings of Fire, book 6. I don't remember what it was called. I can look up the graphic novel, I guess. It says it on that. Okay, I don't like browser hijacks, so I'm going to just, oops. So I have to type everything twice because, oh, here. Nope, that's not going to work. Okay. I need this to work. I need a way to get rid of a browser hijack. So I just have to type it in a lot of times. Here it goes. Finally, it's working. Spoke too soon. Oh, no, there it goes. Moon Rising. We'll be continuing this next time with Moon Rising, which is book 6. Then book 7, then book 8, then book 9, then book 10, and then tying up that arc in a neat little bow. Then book 11, book 12, book 13, book 14, and book 15, and then tying that up in a neat little bow. And then Deathstalker, I believe, is probably the next novel I read. And then I'll start another series, probably. Yay! Okay, so anyways, that is definitely going to do it for this video. I know this one went way long, but thanks for sticking it out, or sticking with me, or whatever. It is now 3:22, and it was like 1:30 in the morning when I started this. So I've been doing this for 2 hours. So I'm going to sleep well tonight, knowing that I can pack away this information out of my head. Anyways, that is going to do it for this video. If you like this content, make sure you like and subscribe, ring the bell so you know when I upload. Also, if you want to support me in any way, or if you want to join the Discord server, all the information will be in the description below. And as always, thanks for watching, everyone. You are loved, and have a great day.